St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and it occurs to me that
Coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, and it
I have
occurs
to
to me
do.
that
You have to do something tomorrow. You know what I have to do? St. Patrick's Day. I have to do. Do you know what docents are? Do you know that word?
yeah,
Do you know what that word
like
is?
you're going to go lead a bunch of people to a museum.
Docents are people who volunteer to
Oh yeah.
take you around in
yes,
churches
yes.
and museums and places like that.
Yeah.
My friend Brent Glass, who runs he's the director of the Smithsonian American History Museum, has asked me to talk to docents about
Oh.
a sports exhibit they're putting in. I don't even know what the sports exhibit is. So tomorrow, basically in the mid-morning, I have to go down to the American History Museum and do this.
Sounds pretty cool.
And I don't really,
And then
I don't
you can all
have.
go out and get hammered.
Yeah, but I have to come here and do
Oh.
work. I don't have any particular agenda of what to say, but Brent said, why don't you talk about me as an athlete, as a child, him. I said, oh, you think that they'd find that fascinating? Maybe they would, because he's their boss.
Here's an
So I
idea.
will-
How about if maybe you talk about yourself?
No, I wasn't going to talk about
You weren't?
myself.
Oh.
No, I was going to talk about him,
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
you know. And then I'm going to talk about, then he said, well, you could also talk about sports in America. And I go, I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah.
I really don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Just occurs to me that there possibly are no, there cannot be any three people with less Irish blood among them than Reeves.
I don't have any Irish blood. I have Irish skin, but I don't have any Irish blood.
Why do you presume that?
Well, you're too tall to be Irish.
Really?
Yeah.
You would you like to put money on me having no Irish blood?
No,
Cindy puts
I have
her
no
feet
idea.
in her mouth.
You like
I
to
have
go
no
there?
idea. No, I have no idea. Do you really?
Sure. Yeah. You know, the name of my people
Top
who
of the
came
morning
over,
to ya.
who crossed the ocean, their last name wasn't Wilbon. So there's obviously European blood in me, and it happens to be Irish.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, what were you counting on French?
Yeah, actually, I would have. I would have said French.
Why?
I don't know. I just would have.
Hold on, great grandfather, Patty O'Shea.
Don't go.
I would've
Don't go
said-
that far back.
I would
Great.
have said more European,
Great.
more Middle European, Western European, and not say Irish.
No.
Maybe English.
But Tony,
Okay.
don't you have to go? Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But enough about that. Okay, two of us have no Irish blood.
But you said the other day you were Dutch.
Uh-huh.
Dutch.
100% Dutch.
So
No,
you
Dutch
could have
and
played
German.
for the baseball for the
yeah,
Netherlands
I
baseball
had
team.
a huge thing going.
Did you grow up with like wooden skates and wooden shoes and stuff like that? And did you do that?
No,
Holland?
no.
I've never been to Holland.
It's fabulous.
never
I
been
love it. I love it. Anyway, let's talk.
Amsterdam's the capital of Holland,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, well,
Have you been there a few
yes,
times?
I have.
People get high.
Is that
in
where
the
they have
streets,
legal
right?
pornography or
Legal everything,
hookers?
legal drugs.
Everything is legal.
How great is that?
It's fantastic.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
It is good to know. Yeah, you might want to go there sometime.
I'd like to go there tomorrow.
Let's talk about.
I'd like to go tonight if I get on a plane. It's cheap now. You can get a cheap airfare. It's
Everywhere.
very cheap
Everywhere.
airfare.
Everywhere.
If you have money,
Everywhere.
you
You don't
can
even
get
have to have
anything.
money. You
get
can go.
anything you want with money now.
Airfares are nothing. Okay.
The hookers may be more expensive than the airfare. Right?
You
You've
would hope.
been there. I haven't been there.
What would
Well, I don't know how the hookers cost.
Well, you said you knew everything about it. I asked you about it. You said it's
I
great.
walked down the street where they're in their little storefront windows, but I
They're in
didn't go into
storefront
the-
windows?
Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah,
told.
yeah.
Really.
Wow.
Yeah, they have like a storefront.
Like now that Circuit City went out, they're in there. Go ahead.
Best Buy, baby.
Best Buy. That's funny.
Let's talk about your brackets.
Toys R Us.
One of you.
Wait, he doesn't. He's not doing this. We just did PTI, and the opening
I don't know
question
yet.
was
I haven't done a bracket yet.
Louisville. Is it? And he said, "What
I was
about
sick
Louisville?" And he
yesterday.
said
I
they
haven't done a bracket.
deserve to be number one. I said, "Are they going to win?"
Here's my bracket.
He goes, "I don't."
Get a good
I'm
shot
not
of that.
filling it out.
You see that?
I'm not filling it
Here's
out.
my
It
bracket.
appears to
He
be-
won't say who he's got.
Now, yeah, it's too early.
But
No
you will.
onions.
Okay.
I did. I said Pitt.
Yes, you did. You're
I
right
said
here in
Pitt.
this little.
Tony had to do his. Normally, look.
He's
Yesterday was the
Pitt.
first day since 19. Well, I've had a column since 1990. Yesterday was the first day in that time I did not write about Selection
too ill.
Sunday.
Yes.
So I didn't do a bracket yesterday, and I
They
haven't
forced
done
me to
one
do
yet.
one every year, even though they bought
Yeah.
me out. They
Well,
forced
they
me.
should. And I don't know who I have winning the tournament. I got to sit down. I'm going to pick upsets this year. This year,
Really? See, I
am
like the number one
determined
seeds this year.
to. It's been happened
Really?
once. It's not going to happen again.
See, I think it could. I think it's time.
No, it can't. It's not going to happen again.
What if it started happening every year?
It's not going to happen.
And then the tournament selection committee would be brilliant.
And then the tournament's going to get boring. Because last year the tournament's viewership was down even from 2 years ago. Last year for the 4 number one
You
seeds.
have-
People don't want that, Tone.
you-
The magic of the tournament is the buzzer beaters and the upsets.
No,
And
that's
there
the
were
first
none
2
of them.
weeks.
Yes.
That's the first
but
2
there
weeks.
were none of those.
But
the
there's
first 2
but
weeks.
there's never, with the exception of George Mason, there's never been a team you haven't heard of in the Final Four.
Well, I mean, but you
and
get,
they got
but it's not
cleaned
about,
out.
But you had time where LSU was a 9 seed. They got to the. You don't need to be
Mississippi
unheard
State
of.
got in.
Yes, Mississippi
Georgia
State's
got
good
in.
point.
That happens a lot.
The tournament needs that because people who come are not people who are familiar with Digger and the tie lighter. They're people who tune into March Madness the way they tune in to the NBA Finals or to Monday and Sunday Night Football as opposed to
weren't
Sunday
Larry
afternoon.
Bird and Magic Johnson both #1 seeds?
I think Michigan State was a #2 seed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, yeah.
but Indiana State was
A #1 seed.
A #1 seed.
And that was the highest rated one ever, I think.
highest rated game, but the tournament wasn't necessarily high rated.
Okay.
I mean, remember tournament was so different then. I mean, Al McGuire was doing the games, and it
Well, it's
all
30
seemed
years
like you
ago.
were taking the wrapping off of it.
It's 30 years
It was
ago.
so great. I want to talk about that day. I don't want it to be a Happy Annie story. I want to talk about Magic and Bird and 30 years later. Maybe we can get Magic. I mean, Bird never seems to pop up to talk about this.
I thought we were going to get Seth Davis because he's written a book about
That'd
it.
be great to get Seth Davis. Let me ask you something.
Well,
Like
Magic's.
Like that Magic Johnson?
Well, yeah, but Magic is not. Magic is not recalcitrant. Magic will happily be on and talk.
Yes,
It's-
exactly. And so but this tournament now, the charm of the tournament is surprise. Surprise. You take the wrapping off, it's surprise.
Here you're missing something. You're missing the big change. The big change is that every game is on TV every week.
Well, it's been on for a while.
That's
It's
what
been
I'm.
10
That's
years.
what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
that we know.
Since 1979.
We know them. That 1979 is the
Yes.
last year
Well,
before
85.
before you
Cable.
saw them all the time.
Well, no, you didn't see him until 85, 86.
Well, so it's like been a long time.
Been a
You've
while.
seen them all. Because I remember when it first started that you would watch the same team all the time. I could tell you, and you'll know this reference. I don't know if you'll even get this reference because you were not in the East at that point. I don't think. You could tell when Chris Corciani got a haircut.
Oh, no.
Because you watched every NC State game,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, whoa! Last Tuesday he didn't have a haircut. You knew the players, particularly of the
4 years.
ACC,
Big East.
and the Big East, and sometimes the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Not the SEC, not the Pac-10,
Right.
but those three
If you lived here.
conferences, you saw them
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, guys stayed 4 years. They started
Yep.
2 or 3 years. That's not happening anymore. But because of that, that's gone. That's another big change.
Yeah.
I mean, people
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
So now you've got a couple of.
I'll
things
give
that-
I'll give you what I think would be the best, and it can't happen in the finals. It's not a final because it's a round of 8 game.
What?
All right, the best game in terms of Magic Bird.
Yeah.
I want to see Blake Griffin go against Tyler Hansbrough.
That'd be great.
That's the single game
Great.
I would want to see most. Player of the year, player
I like
of the
that.
year.
I like
But that is that's going to happen in a round of 8.
If
Right.
it happens. If it happens.
You know, and so to me,
I think we're going
that's
back.
the one.
I think we're going back. I think we're going back to upsets this year.
Ah.
Because you know what? Nobody can keep '1. The #1 teams haven't won all year. Why are they going to start winning
He's
now?
got 3 of the #1
Well,
teams
because
going to the Final Four.
but I explained. I mean, as long as people are reading the Washington Post, I explained that I went to chalk. I mean, I had no guts,
did?
and I went to chalk.
Yeah, I think they're. I think.
You wanted to go get.
I think 3 of them could go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see. I got time to do my
What
bracket.
about this? What's that?
This is
And
my
this number 15.
This is my Bearcat. One of my 2 Bearcat lapel pins. And we got a 15 seed. I thought we'd get a 14 because I read
You should have
every
gotten a
week
14.
we were going to get a 14. And I thought we might play Duke anyway, 14-3. Duke will beat Binghamton. Duke's a better team, and they're playing in Greensboro, North Carolina. Duke's going to beat Binghamton.
game.
Binghamton's not going to win that game.
Duke
I
and
mean,
North Carolina
you know,
given
it's
every
okay.
chance to.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, please, come on, don't get me started.
So, but I mean, I'm
what
really.
would you give though if your alma mater beat John Junior Feinstein's alma mater in the
It
tournament?
would be great. It would be worth it. It's bragging rights for forever.
A lifetime.
Oh,
Forever. It's a
forever.
lime, but it's not.
No, it's not
You know,
gonna
it's
happen,
it's
but, you
really
know.
not going to happen. But I'm happy that they're there. I'm
We'll
happy
watch
that they're
that
there,
game.
even though there's been a concerted attempt by newspapers in this country and television shows to torpedo the program, and to scream and yell that they're playing a guy who's ineligible, DJ Rivera, the best player in the America East. And if he's ineligible, why'd the conference let him be eligible? Well, why? I mean, the conference said the guy's eligible. So why does Binghamton have to defend his eligibility? The conference has to defend his eligibility.
Here.
And the conference coaches are screaming about it. Then you know what? Get to another conference. Because this conference said the guy was eligible. Because I'm just guessing now. If they didn't think he should be eligible, he wouldn't have been playing all year.
Probably
Thank
not.
you.
I'm rooting for
And,
Binghamton. Apparently, I told Steve Berkowitz, I told USA Today
Yeah, I
in
was gonna ask
2004
about that gently.
that I would leave the
Trying to
country
find a way.
if Northwestern didn't get in the tournament
You're
before Binghamton.
leaving.
But
Where are you going?
I'm
To
not going.
Ireland?
I'm not going this
Bahamas.
week.
Back to Ireland?
The
Nah.
Bahamas.
Nah, I
Very
would
cold
go to
in Ireland.
Scotland in a couple of more months. I can play where it's warmer.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's warmer there. But absent that, I will root for Binghamton.
You are?
Yeah.
No, you don't have a lapel pin.
No, I can't.
Well, he doesn't go to the school.
Well, you could.
He's got all the
wear one.
Northwestern gear
I do.
that there is.
I'll root for
could wear-
Binghamton. Rooting for Binghamton. Duke and North Carolina. I don't need anybody rooting for them because they got 25,000 in the building they both own. I've been to games with North Carolina. The University of
there it
North
goes
Carolina plays in the tournament. Okay, and it's not. Wait, please. Look, Villanova's playing in Philadelphia. You know how many people Villanova's going to have? Villanova, out of 20,000 people in that great arena,
8 to 10.
will have 8 to 10,000.
Sure.
That's all.
Sure.
Okay.
8 to 10.
North Carolina
Not Duke. North Carolina.
will have 18,000 and Duke will have 8.
Yeah.
It seats 25,000 plus to Greensboro Coliseum. The teams in there are at such a disadvantage. The NCAA committee, which by the way, basically now just wants to ram through what it wants, its agenda. The men's selection committee. I mean, we talk about NBA conspiracies all the time.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
And it's fun talk. I don't think either one of us actually
We all
believes in
love
any
a
of
good
it.
Conspiracy theory.
But what about the NCAA conspiracy? Let's put the biggest, most favorite nation schools that get the best TV ratings. Let's give them every chance to advance. That's what they've done.
Why
And-
do they do that? Because it's money.
Because it's
Sure.
money.
Because it's
Money coming in their pockets. I
money.
mean, this is scandalous, and I'm the only one shouting about
Yeah, I don't even think. Well, no, you're not the only one shouting about it. I don't even think it's scandalous. I mean, to me, it makes perfect sense. I mean, to me, you put in at-large teams that you think might actually win the tournament, but the solution to this has always been obvious, and nobody wants to do it.
More Binghamton.
No, you make the NIT an important tournament.
Yeah.
And you give the mid-majors a chance once they lose in the first 2 rounds. If they advance past the first 2 rounds, no. But if they lose in the first or second round, they drop them into the NIT. You don't have Georgetown in the NIT.
Right.
You don't have those teams.
Right.
You make it for the mid-majors of the
But then
country.
there's some people like, you know what? I'm relatively happy that Northwestern's going to the NIT, and we're a major. We're a team that goes 9-3 in football.
But you've never
So
been to the NCAA.
But we're a major. But I mean, we're
Yes.
a major. We got the money.
Yes.
If you can win in football and go to bowl games,
You can win in basketball. It's
yeah.
easier.
And they decided they picked more or less. They chose.
Well,
what
there's
they wanted to
more
do.
money. There's more money in football.
more
If you
money
do
in
well in
football.
football, there's more money in football.
There is. But I'm a little bothered by this now.
Well, you got to go fill out your bracket.
Are there any big-time football schools that you can think of where basketball is more important? Big-time football.
Big time football
Okay.
schools.
Okay. No, because I thought about this today. It's funny you said that. You know, the
Kentucky? No.
Texas.
Kentucky's not a big-time
Kentucky's
football
a
No, I know,
basketball
I know.
school.
Yeah.
Texas is a football school, and the football
Illinois.
program is still more important. Illinois is in the middle.
Illinois.
There are 2 schools that are close to equal. You know what they
who
are?
Used to be also
What?
2
Missouri.
schools.
Missouri
Straight
used
down
to
the
be
middle.
When Missouri was awful in football.
Missouri may be a third. Illinois and Maryland. Illinois and Maryland
Yeah.
are almost split down the middle. That's hard to find.
Yeah.
Duke is a basketball school. North Carolina is a basketball school. They don't do well enough at football
Yeah.
consistently. You know, I'll tell you another school. No, Kansas is a basketball school, even though they want to sort of remake themselves to get some of this money. Northwestern
right.
made a decision. And the funny thing is, they actually have executed it. You know, they actually do this. I mean, we're 9-3.
Yeah.
UCLA is still a football school.
Yes, it is.
It's a football school. It'll always be a
Yeah,
football
yeah.
school.
UCLA and USC.
UCLA and USC, these are football
The
schools.
Pac-10 is a football
It's a
conference.
football conference.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the one.
The closest
basketball
is
conference
Arizona.
the Big East.
The closest is Arizona. And Lute Olson, through the will and charisma of one man, but you know what? Now that Lute is gone, it's
go
going to
the
go
other way.
back to being a football school.
I'm wondering, one school that I find interesting, because we know the basketball guy, is Tennessee. That's a giant football school.
Right.
I'm wondering if Tennessee
he tells you.
basketball could
He'll tell you
overtake
no.
it.
He'll tell
It
you
won't,
no.
right? It wouldn't happen.
He said
Wouldn't
no.
happen. Wouldn't
Yeah, I
happen.
would think no.
I'll tell you another school that's got, it doesn't have a chance with football the other way. Syracuse is a basketball school. Football
Yeah.
team bubbles up every now and
Every
then.
so often.
Basketball school.
It's a basketball school.
Started out as a football
Northeastern-
school, but it was
Yeah.
overtaken.
Yeah.
It was overtaken.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's go.